Good morning and welcome to today's Market Outlook. My name is Edmund. So yesterday we had a very fun and interesting day. Basically, the US dollar strengthened tremendously at about 3 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time. The US dollar found very good support at 92.78 levels, and then after that went up all the way until a high of 93.80 levels. So as the US dollar strengthened throughout the day yesterday, we can see the UK pound weakening from about 3 p.m. from a high of 1.2962 all the way to a low of 1.2774. So the UK pound came down 187 pips yesterday, and also on the 4-hour chart you can see it coming down. So it was a good trading opportunity throughout yesterday for shorting the UK pound. So similar story for the euro dollar. Euro dollar, we can see that it came down from a high of 1.1866 all the way to a low of 1.1730. It came down about 135 pips throughout the afternoon and also most of the US trading sessions. Okay, so so this was the strength of the US dollar. Mostly came from comments from Mr. Jerome Powell yesterday. He commented that the US economy is showing good signs of recovery. However, additional fiscal and monetary stimulus will be required to prevent long-term damage to the economy. Okay, so very exciting times yesterday. US dollar moving up and major currency pairs moving down. So gold prices also saw a major drop yesterday, dropping all the way from 1,954 all the way until a low of 1,882 levels, coming down about $72 before having a very decent recovery of about $30 to close at about 1,913 levels. So this morning the gold prices came down about $11 from 1,918 to a low of $1,906. Moving on to oil prices. Oil prices also came down yesterday from a high of about $41.39 all the way to a low of $38.88. So oil prices came down about $2.50 yesterday, and again it had a very decent recovery yesterday, recovering about $1 to close at about $39.87 levels. Okay, so as the oil prices was weakening, we can also see the Canadian dollar weakening as the US dollar strengthened against the Canadian dollar. It moved out about 150 pips against the Canadian dollar. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so finally, of course, we have a look at S&P 500, which also fell yesterday from a high of 3,332 all the way to a low of 3,229. Came down about 103 points before having a decent recovery again, recovering about 52 points to close at about 3,280 levels. So having a look at today's economic calendar, we will have interesting economic calendar as in Bank of England Governor Mr. Andrew Bailey will be speaking at 3:30 p.m. and towards the evening, Federal Reserve Chairman again will be speaking at 10:30 p.m. So other minor data will be the industrial order expectations from the UK, leading index data from China, and of course consumer confidence numbers at 10 p.m. from the Eurozone, and existing home sales and the Richmond Manufacturing Index from the US tonight. So again, as mentioned, the US dollar yesterday jumped up or strengthened more than 0.79%, its largest or most aggressive bullish move since 11th of June. Due to comments by Mr. Jerome Powell, and of course due to the sell-off on the equity markets. So again, in particular, Mr. Jerome Powell's remarks yesterday mentioned that many economic indicators are showing very good improvements. However, the path to full recovery is still highly uncertain, and it will depend largely on how the virus is kept under control. Okay, so additional remarks by Mr. Jerome Powell mentioned that the economy still requires additional fiscal and monetary policy, or even additional funding support to prevent long-term damage to the economy. So for tonight, again at 10:30 p.m., Mr. Jerome Powell, together with Treasury Secretary Mr. Steven Mnuchin, will be testifying to the House Financial Services Committee on the CARES Act tonight at 10:30 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time. So basically, tonight's testimony to the House Financial Services Committee It's basically on how the Federal Reserve has utilized more than 2 trillion US dollars worth of funding and aid. How was the funds distributed? Which communities or which parties has benefited from those funds, and what has been the improvements, and also whether additional funds are required for the US economy. Okay, so again, expect the markets to be having some action during the UK trading sessions, and also during the US trading sessions. So yeah, so currently most of the financial instruments are having a rest, going a bit quiet, and we will only see more action towards the afternoon and towards the US trading sessions. So I hope you guys have another good trading day ahead, and I'll see you again tomorrow for the next market updates. Thank you, take care, and good trading.